Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon wherever you are in the world. Tonight's question will be how I would like to be described. Now let's get going to the point of this question, which is a very broad question, but we can narrow it down and I can be a bit transparent and let you guys know where I stand and how I would like to be described. Thank you. This question has many perspectives, ideas, philosophies, and adjectives in how I would like to be described. To be honest and to not beat around the bush, so to speak, I would like to be described as a mystic, servant, vessel, and warrior to advocate for those who are oppressed, weak, stigmatized, and treated unfairly due to social injustice, circumstances, ideologies, and lack of opportunity. Just because of race, gender, beliefs, and color during my time on earth, I have had many setbacks, opposition, trials, and especially tribulations. But although I have encountered so much suffering and pain, especially mental health anguish, I wanted and I would definitely like to be described as resilient, kind, strong, meek, and someone who never throws in the towel, in so to speak. One may view myself as the life of the party, but then again, I can also be very, very observant, as very observant, sensitive and positive to resolving conflict, confrontation, speaking to media, radio, or in person. I would like to be described as someone who fought for freedom, especially those in bondage of captivity due to government's propaganda, death threats, and illness. I would also like to be described as an everyday Australian. G'day, mate. Just willing to have a fair go, work hard, have a beer with mates, and have and share a positive, loving, and compassionate view on topics that are debatable, interesting, stimulating, and effective, and especially diplomatic. In boosting our economy and uniting as one through music, literature, art, and exercise. Despite some of my highest qualifications and achievements, such as playing international rugby for the nation and paradise of my beloved Fiji, and playing first grade for a handful of Sydney clubs, in which I made my first grade debut when I was at the tender age of 18, in which led to myself holding the Olympic torch when the Olympics were in Australia, being elected vice captain in primary and high school, and being elected by my peers, teachers, librarians, and the local council, in which led me to different opportunities, lifetime friendships, and great employment. I have, by the grace of the Almighty, been gifted in many ways talents, and knowledge, which includes subjects such as mechanics, theology, economics, creative writing, photography, and poetry. Even though I have had many trials, errors, heartache, pain, joy, and happiness, if I was to sum it up on how I would like to be described, I would put it into words like this, as humbly as I can. Please forgive me if I sound like I'm boasting, but I send this message out with all humility. An extremely sensitive, loyal, trustworthy, and hard-working soul who hasn't had the easiest way of life, nor was born with a silver spoon, but a young, strong, courageous, passionate, loving freedom fighter, fighting for peace, justice, mercy, and unconditional rights for humans' sake. In this institutional care for the mentally ill, also to treat people like a mother treats her newborn. So at the end of the day, I would or should say the ultimate mission to describe myself and reflect to others is the way, the truth, and the life, that the Lord first loved me and I chose to love Him. Thank you very much for listening. This is just a brief video about myself, and I appreciate your time, effort, feedback, and friendship. Thank you very much, and goodbye.